Hi everyone, this is Carol Keller, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Illinois in the United States. And today's project features the Snail Mail Suite, which is on page 54 and 55 of the January to June 2021 mini catalog. This suite is our featured suite of the month. So I have another YouTube video that also has a project using this suite. And there are other demonstrators that we've partnered with from around the globe who also have projects that they will share with you if you are part of our Suite of the Month. If you don't have a demonstrator but you would like more information about this program, please contact one of us and we would be happy to share information with you. All right, let's get started. One of my projects using the Snailed It bundle as part of our January 2021 Suite of the Month. All right, let's put the card aside and get started. I am using a standard card base, an A2 card base in basic white, our new color, and I cut a piece of the designer series paper to the same size as the card front. So I'm simply going to use my multi-purpose liquid glue to adhere it to the card front. I love the way it helps us get it right where we want it, in the perfect spot, all aligned before it dries. But by the same token, it dries quickly so that you can work with the card right away. So there we have our designer series paper. And for the next part, we're going to do the Happy Hello. I'm using the Happy Mail Enclosed stamp, but we're only going to use the word happy to create our banner and then the little hello stamp. And because we're only using part of the stamp, we're going to use our Stampin' Right markers to do so rather than our ink pads. And I have a strip of Whisper White, or Basic White, our new color, that's 1 inch wide, and it's just a scrap, so you can see it's a little bit longer than I need. I'll cut it down at the end. And all I'm going to do is take my marker and color in that word happy. And stamp it up at the top. And you can see I have a little bit of stray ink there, but it's not going to matter too much. Hopefully my hello will cover it up. And if you wanted to, you could use your ink pads to color the word hello. But the reason I didn't is that I discovered the Bermuda Bay tones were just slightly different, and I wanted to make sure they matched. So it's just as easy not to have to drag out another supply. We'll just use, perfect, covered it up beautifully. We'll just use our markers for everything. So off camera, I will stamp the rest and then bring it back to show you what to do next. Okay, so now that I have stamped in all of the colors, and just to let you know, I used Real Red, Bermuda Bay, Blushing Bride, Bermuda Bay again, Real Red again. And you can see everything is not quite centered, so I'm just going to take my trimmer and make it a little more even on the one side. Take that little bit off. And then I already cut my layers to size so that I could layer them this way. And so now I'm just going to adhere those layers together. All right. And all I did really, I didn't measure per se. I just layered each. I layered the basic white piece onto a scrap of Blushing Bride and kind of eyeballed how I wanted the border to be. And I knew I wanted a slightly larger one for the Bermuda Bay. So I again just lined them up and eyeballed it. But you could do 1/4 of an inch more or something like that as you do your layers. Next, we're going to take our Blushing Bride twine and wrap it several times around our banner and then tie a bow. So I'm just leaving a tail so that I can use that for the bow. I like to work off the roll, but if you don't, you can just cut a length. I would say probably 12 inches or so. But cut a length and then do your wrapping. I do it this way just because there's less waste. And we're going to tie a bow. and snip the end. I'd say that looks pretty good. And then that goes on our card. And then last but not least, what inspired my idea for this card was these adorable little envelopes that you can make with the snail dies. And when you cut them out, they are already scored, so you just simply fold. And I folded 3 of the sides and left the top flap up, and then put them together with a glue dot. Grabbing one on that bottom flap and then putting them together. And I will do the same thing for the other 2. All right, and now we have our 3 envelopes ready to go. Aren't they adorable? And then I also die cut the letters that go inside. And I'm just using the little heart stamp, and the same thing, I'm just going to use my markers just because I have them out and it's easy enough to do. Color each one. And then I placed it toward the top of the letter since that's what's going to peek out. And again, just make sure you clean in between. And now we'll grab Bermuda Bay. And I know conventional wisdom used to be that you would use your lighter color first, but as long as you're doing a good job cleaning your stamp, it really doesn't matter. All right, and there we have our 3 hearts. So now it's just a matter of putting the rest on the card. For this, I am using my Seal Plus because the envelopes are rather thick because they're made out of cardstock, and I want to make sure they're going to adhere really well. So I kind of put them in an angle, and I'm just going to lay them out without pressing them down till I'm happy with the placement. Just sort of staggering them. And I want a little bit of overlap. And then the Bermuda Bay. I really have enjoyed working with this color palette, although I did change it up for my other video. Yeah, I think that'll be good. All right, now those are on there, and then we put our letters inside. Again, just using some Seal Plus, or you could use regular seal for this. Kind of putting them all at a little bit of an angle, again adding a little bit of interest. And last but not least, the Bermuda Bay. And all we have left, can't have a card without some bling, that's all we have left. So I'm using the beautiful resin hearts that are part of the suite. And I find the easiest thing is to use my Take Your Pick tool, the putty end to grab on and place them where I would like. I'm just putting one on each of the envelopes, alternating the colors. And there you have it. And I will say, like I said, the cardstock is thick, so the card is fairly thick. If you want to, you could slide a glue dot in here just to hold them down a little bit more, but you don't have to. And then of course that's just the card front and not the inside. We always want to finish it inside, and I'm going to show you what I did for that as well. I used that same Happy Mail stamp, but this time I colored in the envelope with the heart on it. And I'm going to put this on the inside of the card and also on the front corner of the envelope. Because I don't think a card is finished until you've decorated the inside and the envelope. How about you? And there we have it. There is our card. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gives you an idea for how to use the set in a more unique way without using the snails, and of course with using these wonderful envelopes. So thanks for joining me today. Again, if you would like to place an order, if you haven't already ordered this wonderful suite, contact your demonstrator. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.